America, America. So beautiful. God has shed His grace on us, on the U.S., the United States. As I mentioned last Sunday, Jane and I just completed our tour of every state in the United States, Alaska being our 50th. Actually, it was the 49th for Jane. She missed North Dakota. But I went there once, so we figure, yeah, that's good enough for both of us. Each state of this United States has its own flavor, just as each of us do. And there is a thread of unity that runs through all. E pluribus unum. The many are one. Those who joined together in the signing of our Declaration of Independence didn't negotiate or compromise to define what the country was to be. They all agreed that certain fundamental truths are obvious, that all are created equal. This indicates their understanding that all wisdom and all power are inherent in each of us. We are spiritual beings. All development is from the perfect seed implanted in the beginning by God. We are endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights, and among these rights are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Let freedom ring, but realize that freedom comes with a great responsibility. Freedom is a state of complete well-being resulting from an understanding of principle with a capital P. Until we develop a consciousness based on the ultimate goodness of life, we cannot know the full meaning of life, liberty, and happiness. All human beings are somewhere on the path to higher consciousness. And as I like to say, we are all growing in our own way, in our own time. But growing we are. How many of you realize you're growing? We are all. The symbol of the United States is the bald eagle. Jane and I saw many of these in their natural habitat up in Alaska. And the eagle symbolizes victory and rising above lower consciousness into higher consciousness. When a storm comes up, all the other birds do one of two things. They either hide from the storm or they fight against it as long as their strength holds out. But what does the eagle do? Soars above it, high above it. This is the teaching of Jesus Christ. In the world, he said, you shall have tribulation. Storms will arise. That's the nature of the world. But he said, be of good cheer, for I have overcome the world. I am soaring high like the eagles. My consciousness has taken me up above the tribulation, and when you develop the consciousness I have, then you'll be soaring up here with me. We learn from the teachings of Jesus how to neither run away from our problems, our troubles, nor fight them, but to turn to God. Take wings and soar above them into the spiritual plane where there is peace, harmony, freedom, and happiness. The real beauty of America is that it is an environment that allows us to fly free. But it's up to us to fly. The Declaration of Independence is not just for this country. It's for each and every one of us. We have to declare our own independence. When Jesus was talking with the woman at the well in Samaria, discussing the nature of God, saying that God is a spirit, and those who worship him must worship in spirit and in truth, he was talking about the spirit of America. In God we trust. This is not a religious slogan. It's a state of consciousness. It's the spirit of America. There was an incident just recently where a valedictorian of her high school class was to give a speech, and the speech had to be approved by the faculty, the teachers, the officials of the school, and they made her rewrite her speech because she was going to tell her classmates how important Jesus was in her life. She did rewrite the speech, but when she got up to give it, she started to mention Jesus anyway. And you know what happened? They cut her microphone off. The crowd booed. They wanted to hear her life, her story, not the censored speech. And when she was later asked why she chose to neglect the authority of the faculty, she said she'd wrestled with it because she was not used to not doing what she was told. But her decision was based on a higher authority, the authority of God. She did trust in God and the true spirit of America. See, man's rules must be subordinate to God's laws of freedom. That's what the Declaration of Independence is all about. It's just a piece of paper until it's incorporated into the lives, practically into the lives of living beings. And we call unity practical Christianity, because just reading or reciting the Scriptures means nothing if it's not lived. Jesus called the scribes and Pharisees hypocrites because they knew the Scriptures. They were able to spout them back, but they didn't live them. The beautiful American spirit is nothing until it is lived. All men are created equal. And this means there can be no judgment, no prejudice, no judgment of anyone because of their nationality or their color. If you allow yourself to judge the worth of another by anything but his or her character, you're not a true American. The beauty of America is that it is the land of the free and the home of the brave. And much of the world today sees America as ugly. Not the people, not the land, but the government. Too many rules, too many laws, too much power in the hands of a few. It's e pluribus unum, from the many one, not from the many a few. There's only one presence and one power. It's not the president, not the Congress, not the Supreme Court. God, the good, omnipotent. And when you take God out of America, it's not America. It's not the United States, not the U.S., not us. It's divided. And as Jesus said, one divided against itself will fall, and great will be the fall thereof. The Scriptures tell us the truth, but we have to live them. Live the Scriptures. America is beautiful because of unity, not because of divisiveness. If you hate George Bush, then you're part of the divisiveness. If you hate Hillary Clinton or John Kerry or Howard Dean, you're an ugly American. If you hate anyone or anything, you're not living according to Christ's principle. And America's not quite so beautiful. If you buy into the fear of all the doomsday scenarios of the end of the world, the day after tomorrow, when the ice age comes, or the end of the world through global warming, through fire, then you're in fear, not love. You're not trusting God. Read your dollar bill. Read your coins. The highest authority is God. The eagle is our symbol. No ifs, ands, or buts. And if you doubt that, then you're littering. You're responsible for the beauty of this country, and you're responsible for the ugliness of it. We all are. We have a choice, as always. We can give power to fear, to death, to destruction, or we can give power to love, to life, to beauty, the pursuit of happiness. I set before you life and death. Choose life. Those are God's words. Who are you going to trust? Who are you going to call? Ghostbusters. Fear is the ghost. Anger is the ghost. Divisiveness is the ghost. Hatred is the ghost. Bust those ghosts with love. Love everyone and everything unconditionally. How can I do that? Stop judging. For judgment I am come into this world, Jesus said. Stop it. Stop seeing ugly. See beauty. That's all it takes to make America beautiful. Seeing beauty. 2 men looked out through prison bars. One saw mud. The other saw stars. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Behold her as beautiful. Everything is beautiful in its own way. Stop seeing it your way and see the highway, the Christ way. The ego says it's my way or the highway. Take the highway. Take the Christ way. The way of beauty, of life, of liberty, happiness. Abraham Lincoln said, Abraham Lincoln, who was a true spirit, said, a man is just about as happy as he makes up his mind to be. How happy are you? How have you made up your mind? We say this just about every Sunday, and I still have people telling me how unhappy they are. Like I can make them happy. I can make myself happy. That's all. And I do. I love to see others being happy, and I'll do anything I can to help. But I can't do it for you, and neither can Jesus. How many people who call themselves Christian are unhappy? Yeah, many of them. They may feel happy when they go to church, but then they have to go home. Or back to work. And they're unhappy again. So your church is your life. You're in it all the time. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness is your unalienable right or wrong. Again, it's your choice. Freedom or bondage, which? Freedom is not free. It comes only with discipline, with self-discipline, mental discipline. And what comes before discipline? Anybody remember the steps? Awareness. Jane remembers. If you're continuously dragging yourself through the mud, through depression or sadness or shame or guilt, it won't stop until you see that you're causing it. And it won't change until you discipline yourself. If you're overweight, then you won't change until you're aware that you're overweight, and then discipline yourself to eat differently, to exercise, to cleanse, and to relax. Until you change, nothing changes. America is beautiful because America is a spirit. It's the spirit of freedom that says you can do anything you make up your mind to do. Or nothing, if that's what you make up your mind to do or not. You can make it up as you go, or you can plan it before you go. Jane and I like to know where we're going when we go on a vacation, and how we're going to get there, and where we're going to stay when we get there. Makes for a better vacation. It allows us to see the beauty. And it's the same with all of life. The trip, life, becomes much more enjoyable when it's planned. Where are you going in your life? It's much more enjoyable when you lay it out beforehand. You can always adjust. You can always take side trips to see the whales or whatever you want to see on the side. But still, you stay on course. You're guided through life by your plan. Life is a trip. Plan it. Set it up for success. Know your destination and the route that you're going to take, and then your whole life will be a vacation. Isn't that exciting? It's exciting. I mean, most people wait for that 1 or 2 weeks a year to take a vacation. Make your plans to make life a vacation. And don't work. Play. Make your life play. Make it enjoyable. Have fun. This is why we're here, to learn how to have fun. Right, Debbie? We talked about this in Sunday school this morning. Have fun. Love life. Love everyone and everything in life, and trust God in every step. And your life, like America, will be beautiful. Let's close with a prayer. Let's take a moment first to let go of everything we've heard this morning, to realize that what's right for each of us will be retained, and what's not will be released. We know we're all growing in our own way, in our own time. There is no right or wrong, good or bad. It's all perfect. It's all part of our growth into that higher consciousness that takes us to heaven. We give thanks for the life and the teachings of Jesus Christ, and for the awareness that we gain by studying his life and teachings. We give thanks for the scriptures that are there for us, that are growing, that are alive as we are growing and are alive. We read them often from our current consciousness, and we grow. In my Father's house are many rooms, many mansions, Jesus said, many states of consciousness. I go to prepare a place for you, and if I go and prepare a place, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there you may be also. This is our quest, to follow that star, that Christ consciousness, to heaven. In the name and the nature and in the holy presence of Jesus Christ we pray. Amen.